Hey, in this video you'll hear several truly terrifying stories from Reddit, the kind that stay with you long after they're over. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new chilling tales. Now, turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and get ready. My downstairs neighbor died a year ago, but every night, I still hear him turn the lights on. I live in an old two-story house on the edge of town. It's split into two apartments, one upstairs, one downstairs. The upper one is mine. The lower used to belong to an elderly man named Henry. He was the kind of person who always wore a hat, even at home, and greeted you by name, even if you'd only met twice. A year ago, he died. Heart attack. His son found him after he hadn't answered the phone for a week. Police, ambulance, body bags, sealed door. Standard procedure. After that, the apartment stayed empty, apparently the family still deciding what to do with it. I've been alone in the house ever since. The first few months were quiet. Then it started. Around 2 a.m., I heard the light switch click on downstairs. That old metallic clack, unmistakable. Henry's switch always made that sound. I recognized it instantly. I went down, thinking maybe a family member had come by. But the door was still sealed. And weirdly, the light was off again. Maybe bad wiring? It's an old house. Could be. But the next week, the light clicked on again. Exactly at 2:04 a.m. I wasn't asleep this time, I'd been waiting for it. And I heard footsteps. Slow ones, across the wooden floor. I knew the pattern, it always creaked near the kitchen, then again in front of the bathroom. Henry's path. I tried to ignore it. But every night, at 2:04, something turned on the light. And sometimes, I heard music. Faint. Like an old record playing. A waltz, maybe. Then, click. Silence again. I called the property manager. They sent an electrician. He entered the lower apartment. Checked everything. His verdict, the entire system's shut off. Power's cut. Nothing works down there. But I still heard it. Every night. I live above it. One night, I set a voice recorder outside Henry's door. Left it on the stairs, pointing at the entrance. The next morning, I played it back. 2:04 or click. Footsteps. Music. 2:06, a loud noise, like someone breathing right into the mic. I rewound and listened closely. It was a voice. Raspy. Not Henry's. You hear how I live? I dropped the recorder. The next morning I was woken by footsteps on the stairs. Coming up. Toward me. I grabbed my phone and stood behind the door. The steps reached the top and stopped. I opened it, no one there. Just an envelope. Placed neatly on the floor. No name. Inside was an old photograph. Black and white. A young Henry in a military uniform. On the back, handwritten. Don't turn off the light. I had no idea what to do. 2 days later, I hired my own electrician. I told him to completely disconnect anything tied to the downstairs unit. He opened the breaker box, and after about 20 minutes, he said, "Weird. This line was cut off long ago. But someone recently added a new fuse. Very recently." I didn't say anything. Just told him to remove it. He shut off the downstairs apartment entirely. No power. No chance anything could work. That night was quiet. I almost relaxed. But at 2:04 a.m., the switch clicked. I jumped up, but this time, no music. No footsteps. Just one single sound, a thump, like something fell to the floor. Then nothing. I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed a flashlight, went downstairs, broke the seal on the door, yeah, I know it was illegal, I didn't care, and walked in. The place was dusty, untouched. Everything in its place. Except the kitchen light was on. I stepped in and saw something on the floor. The same photo I'd received before, but now I was in it. Standing by the window. On the back, someone else had written, "Now you hear how I leave." Since that night, the light hasn't turned on again. But I still wake up at 2:04 a.m., without an alarm, without fail. I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening. Sometimes I feel like someone is standing downstairs, right below my bedroom, just waiting for me to come down. I work night shifts as a delivery driver. One order wasn't what it seemed. I've been working in food delivery for over a year. I usually take night shifts, it's calmer, no traffic, and fewer orders. Usually. That night was quiet. Around 2 a.m., I got an order from a 24-hour restaurant, a box of noodles, a drink, nothing unusual. The address was on the outskirts of town, a residential area. The road was narrow, barely any streetlights. On the map, just a regular house. When I arrived, I was surprised. The house was completely dark. No lights inside, no porch light. It looked abandoned. But the app said waiting for delivery. The note said, "Call when you arrive. Do not knock." I called. One ring, someone picked up. A man. Raspy voice, no hello, no greeting. Just, "Bring it to the back door." I wanted to say we don't usually go around the house, but I thought, whatever. I got out and walked down the side path. It was pitch black. In the back, there was a small wooden porch and a door, slightly open. For a second I hesitated, should I even? Then a silhouette appeared in the doorway. A man, maybe mid-40s. Wearing a t-shirt, barefoot. He looked normal, but something felt off. He didn't look at me. He just said, "Are you alone?" I froze. "Yeah." I answered automatically. He nodded. Then silently took the bag. "No, thank you, no goodbye." Just shut the door. I quickly walked back to my car. And only when I sat down did I realize. His t-shirt had stains on it. Not dirt. Not food. Something dark. And by his feet, just inside the doorway, I saw something that looked like a hand. A woman's hand. I froze. I literally sat there with my keys in hand, thinking, do I call the cops? But I wasn't sure. What if I imagined it? What if it was just a doll or trash? I drove away. Thought about it the whole ride home. Finally, 20 minutes later, I called, anonymously. Told them I saw something strange at that address. 2 weeks passed. I checked the news. Searched social media. Nothing. No arrests. No incidents. A month later, I went online for another shift and got a new order. Same restaurant. Same address. Same note. Call. Don't knock. Bring it to the back. I cancelled the order. Logged off. I haven't worked a night shift since. I rented a room from a guy named Josh. A week later, I started fearing for my life. About a year ago, I moved to Denver. I was looking for cheap housing and found an ad, room in a house. $500 per month. All utilities included. No deposit. I called a guy named Josh. He sounded normal. A little awkward, but polite. When I went to see the place, the house looked fine. 2 stories, kind of old, but clean. The room was small, had a window. Josh told me right away. I live downstairs. You'll have the whole 2nd floor to yourself. Just, please don't go into my room. That's where I have my studio. That didn't bother me. A lot of people don't want others messing with their stuff. The first night went fine. The second night, I woke up to noise. It sounded like someone was walking around the kitchen, moving chairs. I checked the time, 3:12 a.m. Figured Josh was just getting a snack. I went back to sleep. But the next morning, I went downstairs. The kitchen was spotless. Chairs pushed in, everything clean. Even a bag of chips I left out was gone. I joked. "Hey, you didn't eat my food last night, did you?" He kind of hesitated, then said, "Nah, I was asleep all night. You probably just forgot you finished it." Okay. Maybe. But then little things started happening. My stuff was moved. My laptop slightly shifted. My backpack unzipped. One time I even found my phone charging, even though I was sure I hadn't plugged it in the night before. I started setting an alarm for 2:50 just to accidentally wake up before the weird stuff started. And the third night, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I didn't turn on the light. I pretended to sleep. Someone entered my room. It was dark, but I could tell a person stood right next to my bed. Just stood there. For a full minute. Then turned around and left. I didn't say anything the next morning. But I knew I had to leave. Quietly. Quickly. I called off work, booked an Airbnb, and moved out during the day when Josh wasn't home. Left the key in the mailbox. Didn't explain anything. The next day I got a text from an unknown number. "You thought I didn't know you were awake." I changed my number. Never went back to that neighborhood. And honestly, I still don't know what he would have done if I had turned on the light that night. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. It truly means a lot to me, especially because this is my very first video on the channel. I know it might not be perfect, maybe the audio could be better, maybe the editing is a bit rough, or the background footage isn't ideal, but I really tried to put my heart into it, to share the story, the atmosphere, and the emotion. If you enjoyed it, I'd be incredibly grateful if you left your thoughts in the comments. Even honest criticism will help me improve. And if you'd like to hear more stories like this, please consider subscribing. There's a lot more coming, and every single subscription is a huge motivation to keep going. Thanks again for your time. I'll see you in the next video.